I have been back home in LA for like 5 days now. I decided I would leave Texas to avoid the heat. And let me tell you the biggest difference between dating and going out in LA and being a single person in LA versus like any other city in the world, in America. People are so flaky here. People do not want to interact with other humans, but everyone complains about being single here. Everyone is flaking on you to make plans, and you can go out to different establishments and like no one interacts with one another because everyone is trying to be too cool. I was texting with a guy that I matched with on Hinge. We had a phone call while I was in Austin, and he was like, it'd be so great to see you while you're here. I was out at the beach with my friends, and I was like, okay, well, could meet up after the beach if you want. He's like, yeah, sure. I'm going to have a drink with a friend at 5. I will text you when I'm done. I never heard from this person. And I went out with some girlfriends to Sunset Tower. No one. And people look at each other at Sunset Tower, but no one talks to one another. So this is my public plea. I'm here for like a week or two more. Where do people talk to one another in LA? Because I certainly don't know.
I think it's so funny that in a lot of cities, if you're 29 and single, it's like you're behind on life. Like, you should probably take dating a little bit more seriously, get your life together. Like, what's wrong with you? But in LA or New York, that's like more than normal. It's like, oh my God, the world is your oyster. You have so much time. You're so young. Like, the only difference in those things is the location. The mindset difference is just insane. Like, all of my friends are single here. All of my friends are married in other cities. Like, why is that?
I never thought of myself as a relationship girl, but since I moved to LA, I've been single for 2 years, and I realized it's the longest I've been single since I started dating. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm like protecting my peace for the first time in my life, but also dating in LA is an extreme sport. Last year I matched with a guy on Tinder. I hate talking to them online for too long, so I was like, let's just meet up for drinks. I suggested a place to meet near me, and he said okay. The day rolls around, and he asked if we could move to a bar near him. I was like, okay, that's fine. Sure. So I go to this bar, we're chatting, we're having a good time, and after we finish up our drinks, he's like, you can come over for a bit, and we can just have another drink and chat some more. Now that sounded like a normal ask, and I was enjoying my time, so I said yes. As we were walking over, he was like, okay, just so you know, my roommates are a little bit goofy. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what's a random hookup without a weird interaction with their roommates? We walk into his place, and immediately there's like 6 people sitting outside having a drink, chatting. It's Friday night, so I didn't think that was that weird. One of the low-key funnier parts was that one of the guys had just gotten like 7 tattoos and was asking my opinion on them, and I remember thinking they were all kind of ugly, but you can't tell someone, sorry, that thing you just permanently put on your body is pretty fugly. But whatever, we push past them, we go to the back of the backyard or porch or whatever it is, and we have a drink and we're just chatting. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a tent. So I'm like, what's with the tent, dude? So he tells me that one of their buddies is the landlord, but he's not full-time in LA. When he is in LA, he sleeps in that tent, and when he's not in LA, he sleeps wherever he lives. We go inside. There's maybe 20 people crowded around the TV and living room and dining room area, so I immediately get the sense this is like an adult frat house. He takes me to his room, and guess what I find in there? Bunk beds. No closet space, no nothing space, just bunk beds and me, baby. At this point, I've decided I'm not hooking up with the man on bunk beds, so I'm gonna use the time here to get some questions answered and then scoot. Some things I found out. One of these rooms, there's a married couple who is sharing a room with bunk beds with other people. The guy that I'm on a date with used to date one of the girls who lives in this house, and now she's dating another girl that lives in this house. They have mandatory weekly activities that you have to get a doctor's note, family note, or other major excuse to get out of. I go to the bathroom, and in the bathroom is this incredible list of rules. On the list of rules, it said that every person was allowed 3 guests a month, and you had to approve them 24 hours before their arrival. Meaning I was approved 24 hours before my arrival, before he ever asked me to move the date to the bar on his side of town. Also in the rules, I found out that everyone was allowed 1 downward spiral before you would have to be reported to the Sparkle team, who was in charge of maintaining the house. I called my Uber from the bathroom, but imagine, it could have all been avoided if he had just gone to a bar near me.
Has a man ever told you how to wear your hair before a first date? because I canceled a date that I was going on tonight because I was kind of getting weird vibes anyways. But once he set the date, he said that he prefers girls that wear their hair half up, half down. It's just a coincidence that I'm doing that right now. And I think some people might see that as cute, but I think that might be a little bit controlling. And I heard some things through the grapevine. LA is smaller than you think. That this guy is a little bit controlling. He comes on really strong, blows up your phone, which I've already kind of seen. And then I was like, you know what? I'll just go feel it out because I'm stupid. And then as soon as he asked me to wear my hair a certain way, this is our first date, by the way, I was like, you're already trying to change me. Like, what if I don't feel confident with my hair half up, half down? But it's like, you've never even like had a date with me yet, and you're already trying to tell me what to do. I don't know. It seems like a bit of a red flag to me, but has anyone else experienced this? I swear the craziest shit happens to me when it comes to dating.
Oh my gosh, dating is so rough. I kind of just want to give up on dating now. And I know I won't because I'm too much of a lover girl and a hopeless romantic. But I ended up calling my rare diamond of a man. I did take 2 shots of tequila before I called him because I knew this conversation was going to be very difficult for me. And yes, I know taking shots of tequila in the midday is not healthy for you, but don't judge me. I'm emotional. Anyways, I called him. I was bawling on FaceTime with him, and I ended up telling him that I had to end this because I'm going to be too emotionally attached to him than I already am. And that was the hardest thing for me to do because he was such a great guy. Like, he was such a sweetheart. He took good care of me. He was so loving towards me. He was so respectful, such a gentleman. And like, he was everything that I hope my future boyfriend will be, or future husband will be. But because he doesn't want a relationship, as we know, I knew I had to end it. I mean, he taught me a lot about myself, but it was definitely challenging. We're still friends, but here we go, more dates.
If you want to stay single, date in LA. They're going to try to fool you into being some sort of big shot, but in reality, they are a bartender trying to become an actor. Even at the age of pushing 40, they'll still have a roommate, even though they're quote-unquote successful and they have it together. And the ones that do have money, they're on to the next. They're always going for the younger girl. I mean, look at Leonardo DiCaprio, for example. He only wants to date girls who are 25 and under. You would think that because you're in LA, you'd be surrounded by a lot of tall men. No, it's primarily men averaging 5'8" to 5'10". He's gonna make you feel special, but don't forget, he has Hinge, Raya, Bumble, all the dating apps downloaded. The men in LA really love sliding in the DMs. They truly do. And anytime you think your man's faithful, go check his inbox. If you're looking for a man-child who's never gonna grow up, who only wants to drink and party and do drugs, then move to LA. Don't get me wrong, they're gonna wine and dine you and then drop you for the next nice, new, young, shiny thing that comes into town. So if you're looking for a husband, move. Otherwise, you're going to end up being 40, alone, single in LA with no prospect. And if he's ready to settle down, he's going to be old, fat, and ugly, and he's probably going to want a girl who's half your age. The LA starter pack is, I'm a trust fund baby, I go to the Winston house, I hang out at the bungalow, I have a Soho membership. I'm not looking for anything serious, I'm just here for a good time, not a long time.
I dated a celebrity as a non-famous person, and here is the crazy shit he told me. Part 1. So we were at an event that had a red carpet, which is very common in LA. Most events have red carpets, especially when you're getting dressed up. And when we got to the red carpet, I was kind of thinking like, oh my gosh, okay, are we gonna take a picture together? Because obviously then I assume this is gonna end up on the internet and then it's gonna become public. So I wanted to sort of let him decide whether or not he wanted to, because I didn't want him to think that I was dating him for clout, because I wasn't. And when we got to the carpet to like get our photo taken, he looks at me and goes, I need to take a photo by myself for my stylist. So yeah, I'm just gonna take one, just me. And I remember thinking like, your stylist does not care if you're at an event with your girlfriend. Like the outfit is still visible. It's not like I'm not gonna hinder your outfit. But I said, okay, sure. And I watched him as he took his photos by himself. And I don't think whoever his stylist is. I don't think his stylist ever even reposted his look or anything like that. Now, I will say I would have given him a pass if he had not taken a photo at all, because then it's like, okay, he's not taking a photo, so I'm not. But the stylist? That's your excuse? Like, come on. I'm not, like, just say that you don't want everybody to know we're in a relationship. You don't want it on the internet. Like, just be honest. I'm sharing these now because he broke up with me in a totally nasty, foul way. And so I'm kind of like, well, now I get to share my experiences. So here we go.
Let's talk about 8 things about dating in LA. LA is known for having a pretty unique dating life, and as somebody that was in a very long-term relationship, I watched from an outside perspective all of the shit that goes on here. I grew up 5 minutes from Calabasas, which is about 40 minutes from LA, the city itself. I want to say the dating life in high school in the suburbs of LA was relatively normal just because it's high school. I feel like it's all pretty similar, but everything changes when these people move to LA. After high school, a lot of people, including myself, moved into the city just to be obviously closer to the city. Once I started watching my friends go on dates in LA, I started watching like the craziness of this dating world. And let me preface, I'm very well aware that a lot of these things happen from transplants that move to LA. Number 1, Instagram is like your ID here. If someone's asking for your contact info, they're pretty much asking for your Instagram. They're going to do a deep stalk, and based on your Instagram, that's when like the date is going to be initiated or not. Number 2, just because you're a D or C-list celebrity doesn't make you anything special. I've seen so many girls move to LA and go on dates with like D or C-list celebrities that are like from like Love Island or Too Hot to Handle, and then they think it's some crazy big thing, but in reality, these people are like mass daters throughout LA, or mass hookuppers, I'll say, and it's really just like, honestly, run. When you're in LA, there's just gonna be celebrities and influencers around, and that doesn't mean they're like a good option to date. It's just not the case. Number 3, if you meet a guy at the club, just run. Bars are different, but in terms of clubs, the only guys that are in a club are the guys buying the table or the promoters. The promoters are either really creepy and old, or they're young and they hook up with everyone. And then the people buying the table, why are you dropping like 20K on a table for a random Sunday? Number 4, if they have a bad reputation, most likely that reputation is accurate. Number 5, most people are on Raya, especially the transplants. Raya is basically like an exclusive dating app where it's a lot of kind of like C and D list celebrities. And that brings me to number 6, which is there's a lot of transactional relationships. In LA, I've just noticed girls often want guys that have money or are famous, and then guys want girls that are like models on Instagram. Number 7, girls experience nightlife really young. They're able to get into the clubs at a super young age, which is like a whole other topic in itself. And so they experience going out and the party life young. So when all these guys turn 21 and start going out a lot, the girls have already gone through their party stage when they were younger, and so it just makes them on like such different levels. And number 8, men will always love to slide into the DMs. Rather than going up to you in person, they will wait until they get your Instagram and then slide into the DMs. It's actually weird. Anyways, this is the final makeup look. Let me know if you want part 2. Love you guys.
Dating life in LA sucks. Period. I have dozens of female clients in therapy, and they all been telling me the same. Dating life in LA sucks. I get it. Okay, that's true. But also, I'm Russian, and I came to LA and I met my husband in a couple of weeks after I arrived here, and I was not living here. I was living in a different country, and here's the photo of our wedding. So after 9 months of our relationship, he proposed to me, and now we're married and I live in LA. So yes and no. Dating in LA can be sucks, but only if you think that the guy who gonna come to your life is the one who gonna prove you that you are a great, amazing woman. No, it's not his role. It's not his position to do it for you. You're supposed to do this work yourself in therapy to understand your values, to understand who you are. What are you bringing in the world? What are you bringing in relationship? We cannot expect from anyone to bring us to our self-worth. We cannot expect from guy to show us what we deserve. You have to understand your worth and values before you enter a relationship. And anyone who gonna come to your life after that gonna just mirror whatever you carry for yourself inside of you. So please, girls, love yourself.
I am practicing a form of self-hatred and self-harm tonight because I just took a 43-minute Uber, a Prius, because taking a regular Uber was so expensive, and that was still so expensive, all the way to the west side where it's gray here. It's gray cardboard energy here. To go on a date with a man that just told me he's gonna be late after I ventured out here. I'm gonna puke from that car ride. So yeah, this is a form of self-harm after an amazing day I had. You have to have balance, you know? So I'll report back how this date is at Belle's Beach House. Like, what is going on here? I'm not sure what the lore is of the West Side. I can't relate to it whatsoever, even though I used to live here.
I'm gonna yak.
Okay, girls, I'm over it and I have an idea. If you're single and you're dating in San Diego / like OC LA, this is for you. I've gathered all of us girls here for a very important message. First of all, I did a little like scan of my TikTok analytics. Luckily, 80% of you are female, 20% are male, and over 50% live in San Diego or LA. I feel like if you follow me, you're a girl's girl. I feel like a lot of the content that I post is about being single in your late 20s, dating, like focusing on friendships, all of that fun, happy stuff. And if you are in that pocket of us who are dating in San Diego, you very quickly realize that it is a small city. Like, I know that we are all swiping on the same guys on Hinge. We're like getting hit up by the same guys in our DMs. Like, it's bleak out here. And I feel like there's just this shift around mindset with women where we are like solely for the girls, at least the girls that I've been interacting with lately. And what I've gathered you all here today to talk about is creating a bullshit male directory for all of us who are in the streets out here dating guys in San Diego. Like, I literally want to create a directory of these men. Like, I'm talking, let's get really messy, like call them out by name, hyperlink to their Instagram account, put in notes of shit that they did to you or things that they do or say or to look out for, because like we cannot allow them to keep doing this to us. And I am under no illusions that I'm perfect by any means. Like, I would show up to a relationship with my own shit to work on, absolutely. But when it comes to being a fucking scumbag, for lack of a better phrase, that's all on them for the most part. Like, we are not the problem here, and I just think that we can't allow them to keep getting away with this. Like, I'm over it, I'm done. The girlies need to stick together.
Attention single women of Los Angeles, I am reporting to you live, like literally sitting in my car from Beverly Hills at lunch hour. Let me tell you something. There are like models walking the street. There are men in linen shirts and loafers and looking so cute, and I looked at their hands and some of them have rings, but a lot of them don't. And I realized, I'm on Camden, I realized that like all the talent agencies are here. So all the young eligible men are just like out and about. Some of them are holding cheese store, the artisan cheese store bags. Some of them are holding common sea bags. These are the lunch places where they are. I'm staring directly at a very handsome man in scrubs. So if you're not finding a talent agent, you could potentially find yourself a doctor who is extremely handsome. I didn't know this, but I guess people need to be spending more time around Beverly Hills at lunchtime.
Living in LA in your 20s and not your small hometown where everyone's getting engaged and having children in their 20s, and living in LA and realizing how people stay single until their late 30s, 40s, 50s, and like people like literally just don't get in relationships. And I feel like maybe it's the generation too, and not just an LA thing, but more normalized in LA to be single and old as fuck and just like partying and just like never growing up, or like not being ready for a relationship. And it's like, babe, like you're like almost 40, what do you mean you're not ready? When are you gonna be ready? It's crazy. Like, not saying that I want to get married and have kids early. I think that you should live your life, and I don't think that 30 is old, but like just people not taking relationships seriously. And like, yeah, I could settle and be in my hometown and be with a weirdo and having children, but like I don't want that. But like, it's just so normalized, and like people are like 29 turning 30 and they're like, yeah, I just don't know what I want. I'm like, what do you mean? Didn't you have your entire 20s to not know what you wanted?
The problem with dating in LA is that every man that lives here, okay, maybe every transplant that lives here, no matter how old they are, they think they're 21 and they act like they're 21. Like, I swear to God, I like go visit my family in Idaho. I talk to my friends that live in like other parts of the country that are not big cities, and they're like, yeah, everyone's like engaged.